quick shout out to my buddy Andrew Rowan, who drew my new YouTube avatar. He draws his own comic books. Guys, you can check that out. The links will be in the description box below. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I'm Robert Storms. If you're finding me for the very first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I want to thank each and every one of you for helping me get over the milestone of 10,000 subscribers. I love each and every one of you guys. So the other night I was sitting around the house, didn't have much to do. I couldn't fall asleep to save my life. So you know what I did? I put on Krypton. If you're not familiar with Krypton, David Goyer pitched this series of Krypton taking place a few hundred years before the events of Superman. This is actually a prequel to Superman before the destruction of Krypton, and this show actually takes place I think 2 or 3 generations back. This is about Superman's great-grandfather or grandfather, and at this point, who really gives a shit, right? But the trailers sold me. The trailers sold me with Brainiac. I care less about this show. This show was a stupid idea. Who wants to watch a show about Krypton hundreds of years before its destruction? Superman's not involved. Fuck, Jor-El's not even involved. So why would we care about a Krypton show? We have so many comic book shows on TV right now. A lot of them are really good. Why are we going to waste our time for an hour to watch a show about a planet that's going to blow up in a couple hundred years? Why should we invest our time? And they got us with fucking Brainiac. That's how they got us. They lured us in like fucking little kids going after candy. They lured us in with Brainiac because we've been dying to see Brainiac on the big screen. The big screen, we've been dying for it. But since the DCEU can't get their head out of their asses and put out a Superman 2, we have to resort to going to the Sci-Fi Channel to watch Krypton. So I sat down on the couch, I watched Krypton, and I have to tell you, the show's not good. It's not good at all. The first 10 to 15 minutes of the show was pretty solid. It reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones, about the different houses and different ranks and how they all interact on this planet. It reminded me very much of Game of Thrones, and I was really drawn into that. Unfortunately, once they incorporated time travel, it just kind of fell flat at that point. I really want to wait around to see Brainiac hit the show. We got a small glimpse of him in the pilot episode, and no doubt they're going to kind of pepper him through the first season until he finally comes toward the end of the season, because they're not going to give him like in the second or third episode. They're not going to do that. But I want to see Brainiac come and try to take Candor and put it in a bottle. That's what I want to see. There's a lot of good elements about this show, but unfortunately at the end of the day it feels like a low budget TV show on the Sci-Fi Channel. And you know how Sci-Fi has that stank of low budget? That's what this is. It starts off good, there's good concepts to it, but then it just kind of fiddles out there. Many people might be wondering where Krypton fits in the actual timeline. Is it lined up with the DCEU? Is this a prequel to Man of Steel? Is it a prequel to the original Christopher Reeves movies? The answer to that is we don't know. There's so many continuity problems that you can't really pinpoint what this is a prequel to. They have the feel and look of Man of Steel. In fact, Krypton is basically the same Krypton that we've seen in Man of Steel, but then they give you like Superman's cave and the Fortress of Solitude, and none of that was introduced in Man of Steel. The Superman cape that appeared in Krypton was not Superman's cape from Man of Steel. It had the yellow S on it. That was Christopher Reeve's cape. And the Fortress of Solitude was not in Man of Steel. It was just a spaceship. We never got a real Fortress of Solitude in the DCEU because the DCU is fucking stupid. I personally like to believe that it is connected to the DCEU despite the continuity flaws, because it gives us more context on Superman that we haven't gotten so far in the DCEU film. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think of Krypton? Are you much like me? Did you go in optimistic and just fell apart at the end? Are you looking forward to more of the show? Be sure to leave those comments in the comment box below. Be sure to hit that like button. Once again, if you're finding my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.